It's 2025 and I started the year on the island of Koh Lanta. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Stu. I'm a backpacker from England, and currently I just travel. I just see the world. I just want to experience as much as I can. But I've been taking a couple of days off from filming, which has given me a new lease of life to start going out more. And this is my last day on Koh Lanta. So over the last couple of days, I did leave here to go off to Koh Phi. I had a bit of a party island experience, and then I came back here to spend New Year. Now, New Year on this island is an amazing experience. The whole beach area was full of not just the tourists, not just the backpackers, but all the locals as well. And the firework display is one of the best I've seen ever. Every single beach bar competes against each other from the looks of it, and it was just all along every single beach on the island. And this is a taster of what it looked like. Amazing. Now, because it's been the Christmas and New Year period, I have taken a few days off from my daily vlog, and it's been worth it. So, where am I right now? I'm in Saladan, which is the main town, or the first town you come to when you come off the ferry onto the island. Now, the ferry is, or the ferry port is down that way. Which is why you get so many vehicles coming down, and it's only one road that goes down that way. And this is north of the island. Now I'm going to head this way because when I got the ferry to Koh Phi, I saw a stretch of land that went all the way into the sea, and I went, I need to go down there. So in total, Koh Lanta, I have been on the island for about, when I get here, day before Christmas Eve, and it's just been an amazing. It is one of my favourite islands, if not the favourite island within Thailand. The main reason is it is chilled. Not many backpackers, tourists come here. This is just a really nice island. It does have its party side, which, you know, we all could do with a party every now and again. But apart from that, the beaches are superb. They're clean. And I think I've been to Koh Lanta about 8 or 9 times over a 10-year period. So although this is the town, the village that the boats all come to, because there is no airport on the island, you find that all the hotels, the resorts, the backpackers, hostels are all further out, and they all lead out to the south side of the island, but all on this side. Right, we're getting closer to, because there's the sea over there. Let's go this way. Hi. Happy New Year. That's very nice of them. Sea, sand, soul, and the water is so clear. Nice little restaurant. Now there is, like I said, a strip of land that just, it's very thin, that I saw people walking on the other day. I will find it. And unlike other islands in Thailand, over the Christmas New Year period, they all doubled their prices. Not this place. Oh, right, I guess I'm just going to follow him. Oop. Without falling. Wonder why they blocked that off. Hello. Now I have been to Koh Lanta so many times, but this is the first time I've actually been down this end before. I think the tide is in, and just there is where the sandbank is. Is that what you call it? And it goes all the way along. So yeah, so when my ferry was leaving to go to Phi Phi, I just saw people walking along with dogs. I was like, wow, and you find it, and you can see that looks a bit shallow down there. You can just see the colour of the sand. Wow, this is beautiful. But you can imagine that if the tide does go out, because there's a little bit of a beach there, not much, that this would be just perfect. Bring down a towel, some water, cheese and crisps. Oh, it's the dream. So I might come back here later, might not, might be an excuse to come back another time to Koh Lanta next time I'm in Thailand, and I always do. But this video is all going to be going along the west side of the island, just to show you what it's like. It's basically a set of small villages all joined together, and so many beaches. And I think I might just have a look around the town now. Very rare I get down to this end, because most of the stuff is basically in the centre. Wait, how do I get out again? Oh, there's a path. Hello birdies. Oh. Right, let's get to the centre of the town. So I am in the centre of this little town, and there are still people heading towards the ferry ports to be leaving. And this is where you get a lot of the markets. There's a lot of food markets around here as well. And when I came back here on New Year's Eve from Koh Phi Phi, it actually felt nice to be back. The hostel I'm staying in, £6 a night. There's people that have been there for a couple of weeks. They've been to Lanta before, they've enjoyed it. So when I came back after only 3 nights away, there was all these people going, "Welcome back, Stu." It was really nice. It was just nice to have some sort of normality, even though I'm on a tropical island. So ferry port's down there, and there is a street food market on a night time down there. And for years of me coming here, I used to think this was the old town, Koh Lanta Old Town. No, it's not. It's on the other side of the island, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the next video. Oh, hello. Lots of hellos. And there's another food market just up here. But because it's lunchtime, it's not going to be really open till the night time. And another reason I love Koh Lanta so much, they don't have a lot of chain industries. They don't have a McDonald's. They don't have a Burger King. They don't do chain hotels. There's rumours that Grab taxis, they're equivalent to Uber taxis over in Southeast Asia. I've been trying to get on the island for years, but the council keeps saying no. So yeah, it's everything you see around here is all independent. However, there is one chain that they do allow, and that is 7-Eleven, and there's loads of them around here. And this is basically it. From there it goes off into the next village, and as I said, it's just a selection of small villages all connected as one. I just really like it. Now, one thing I have found since being on this island, I have seen it a couple of times every time I come back, there is so many French people on this island, and in the hostel I see a quarter of the people there are French. So there was a party on Christmas Eve where the hostel I was staying in, Hub of Joys, had a party, and I spoke to one of the French people to say why is so many French people here. So there is a program on French TV, a survival program, and it's set on a desert island not too far away from here, and what's this road? They called it Koh Lanta, the program. So a lot of French people will watch this Koh Lanta TV program about people surviving. They'll come to Thailand and they'll go, oh my god, it's a real place. So Koh Lanta is really big for French people. Now this is where I try and find my bike, which is somewhere. Hello. So I've made my very first stop, and behind me is, they say it's a rainforest, but I just think it's just lots of trees together. And this rainforest goes all the way down to the very south end of the island, where there is a national park full of monkeys, full of wildlife, full of... And I was like, that, look at him, he looks happy. Can you see him? Hello? No. So going back to the road, there is basically just one main road going from the port, the ferry port where people land, all the way to the other side of the island. Now on the east side, as I said, there's plenty of hotels, plenty of resorts like the Mermaid, but I was told that they've stopped building any new resorts at all. They want to keep the island as it is. And I had a little bit of a problem yesterday where I wasn't too sure if I was going or staying, but because of New Year's Eve I had to stay because my legs weren't working properly. So I tried to book an extra night in the hostel I was in. They told me they were full. I went on booking.com, Agoda, Hostel World, everywhere. Every single hostel was full. Wow. All the cheap hotels couldn't get anything. So I started doing a little bit of panicking, thinking, looks like we have to leave. I was lucky that they had a cancellation in the hostel I'm in. They found me very quickly and said, book it now before we give it to someone else. So we reckon people in the hostel, we were talking that everybody from all the party places around here would come here to recover, because this is the place you do it, Koh Lanta. But not just the rainforest on the island. You've got it's got its own coral reef. It's got plenty of snorkeling places. It's the perfect place for any nature-loving tourist. So I've come further a bit down, and this time I'm outside my hostel, and that is the one that's over there, Hub of Joy, and that's the main receptionist just across the road. So they'll be excited when I got my camera out. But it's split in two. 1, 2, most of the rooms are in that green building, and this is a place where a lot of the hostels are. You've got Best Stay just there. There's a couple of smaller ones, guest houses, that are just as cheap. And so this is where most of the backpackers come to. And that's mainly because just round the corner is Long Beach, one of the most beautiful beaches on the island. And it's a 5-minute walk. So if you want to see what Long Beach looks like, check out my previous video and you'll see it there. But this is a really nice area. This is just so quiet and peaceful. You sit outside at night time and just take the world go by with a bit of traffic. Supermarket, restaurant, loads of restaurants. Renting mopeds, scooters from that place is cheap. And then you've got a little hospital just there, International Clinic. What more do you want? Right, let's go further on. So I've come further on down from where my hostel is, and a lot of the island is getting roadworks done at the moment, and that is because they are building a bridge to the mainland. Now between here and the mainland there is already a smaller island where a bridge has been built going to there, but to get onto this island you need to get by ferry, and the bridge will not be opened until all the road works are done. Now at the moment they've been working on this for the last 3 or 5 years, and they're still working on it. I think the time frame is 7 years time, open the bridge, which is going to increase so much population coming on the island. Now this is roughly about 2 kilometers away from the hostel. How do I know that? Because I ran here this morning, my New Year's resolution to get fit, and it was 2k here, 2 kilometers back. If you can do your maths, that's 4 kilometers altogether, and it took me, oh god, it took me about 15 hours. No, it took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It was hard. It was hard. I did it at 8 o'clock this morning, but I am determined to get rid of these 15 chins on me. So yeah, fitness is getting on. I'm going to do it every 2 days. But even though they've got all this roadworks going, you've got all the small businesses all the way along, still working, still getting people in. And that is the bike I'm using for today. I've had it for the last 2 days already. This costs 200 baht a day to rent. Now that might be a little bit expensive. No, it's not. Because there's no grab taxis on here, tuk-tuks are the way around. Now to get from the ferry port to my hostel was 200 baht. That was one trip. So if you ever come to Koh Lanta, you need one of these. Even if you're going to use it for about an hour, you're still saving money. Right, we'll take you to the final spot, and this is the last spot for this video. And the reason I brought you here is because this is where my love for Koh Lanta began. So 10 years ago, about 3 months gone, This is where I first came to stay with my mate. We were backpacking and we stayed in, I can't remember, there's a hotel, cheap hotel just down there. But all this was not here. It has all been built up over the last decade. All there was a small cafe, and there was a bit of a resort going on down there towards the beach. But it just shows that in the 10 years since I've got here, tourism on the island has got bigger and bigger. Not a shame, because the fact the islander does need it. It's something that just goes with tourism. And the beach down there is amazing. It's just so clear, and snorkeling down there is amazing as well. So what I might do is just have a quick wander down to the beach down there. I saw Long Beach in the last video, show you the beach down here, and all it is just a little cut through down there. Let's have a look at it. So I'm on the beach. It's a little bit busy, and the sea looks so inviting. And what you notice straight away is the amount of bars in the area going all the way along. Whereas where I am, in the hostel area, there's not that many beach bars around. So this is like this is where I was on New Year's Eve, just a little bit further down. And this was where all the fireworks you saw earlier was. Amazing place. But yeah, definitely my favourite island in Thailand, and you can see why. Now, if I remembered what this beach was called, I'd be able to tell you. But I've got a clue. I do know what it is, but I haven't got a clue. So that was, or is, the east side of the island, going from the ferry port down here. Now if you go further on down, there is the national park, which I've filmed before, way back in February time, so you can actually have a look at it and see what it's like. And then the next video, I'm going to go onto the west side, and have a look at Old Town, Koh Lanta Old Town. Look at see where the sea gypsies are and stuff like that. But if you've enjoyed this one, if you enjoyed the sunshine, the little relaxed little trip along the island, then press that like button. If you want to see what the west side of the island is like, then just press that subscribe. But until the next time, bye bye for now.